Hello, everybody out in YouTube land. I am Sarah King, and I am really, really excited to be here tonight because we are celebrating the release of my brand new EP, The Hour. Woo! So if you don't have a copy yet, I've put the link in the chat. If you do already have a copy, Michael has one already. Thank you very much. And I've got my whiskey here as well. If you have already ordered one, if you ordered only a CD, those went out today. If you ordered a CD and a t-shirt, you'll be hearing from me over the weekend to get your t-shirt size. If you ordered a CD and vinyl, the vinyl will be coming later, but your CD will be on the way. So I have lots of really exciting pre-sale and crowdfunding rewards going on, and we'll be talking about all of that throughout this evening at this release party. It's been a really big day, really exciting time for me. I got word earlier this week that The Hour is already in the top 100 Americana albums in the country. This afternoon, I got a picture of the album with the new Loretta Lynn album, listed in the same article as things that you should check out. So it's been really exciting. So, I just can't wait to see King. You would be surprised, or maybe not, about how often I sing that song to my cats. So without further ado, we're going to start things off with a cover while we let people check in, because I know sometimes people take a few minutes to get in and get settled. So we're going to start off with a cover. I had a few requests to play the album live, start to finish. So we might be doing that. We'll find out. So here we go. Here's the cover that a few people have mentioned that they've enjoyed before. Once again, I'm really excited. I started drinking a little bit earlier because I was really, really excited and needed to dial it down a little bit. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for supporting my music. My career this year has been more than I could have imagined. So before I start crying, I'm going to sing, and maybe I'll cry later. So here we go.
Run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go and tell that long-tongued love, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. My goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. Came to me in a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. Said, I stood still, Johnny, go and do my will. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Throw your rock and hide your hand, talking and talk about your fellow man. But as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to light. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Tell that long-tongued love, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
Think of the dancing hippos. I did on social media mention that my cackle would be very, very present this evening. So I have learned to try to get away from the microphone a little bit when I'm busy cackling, but I'm sure there will be a lot of laughter tonight as well. So if you have a download of the album, or if you have had a chance to check it out on Spotify or anything today, and you have any questions about any of the songs or want some backstory or context or anything like that, pop it in the chat. I would love to talk about the record. I could talk about it all day. I'll give you a sneak preview. I spoke, I had two producers on this record, Simon Felice and David Barron, who are also the producers for the Lumineers and Jadebird and Noah Kahan and of other amazing musicians, and David and I were able to sit down today and talk about the record, and I've been like on cloud nine since he and I chatted. It was really great to reflect back on all the work that we did last year together on release day, and so I've just been like extra pumped. Kyle, Ashley, woo! So glad you guys made it. So that was that. I'm gonna sing one more song from my or not one more song. I have a lot more songs to play tonight. I'll play as long as you guys want. Just really happy to be here. This is the first time I have done a virtual release party. I thought about making it on Zoom so that everybody could see everybody else, but I also know that sometimes I don't want to have my camera on Zoom, so I figure we'll do it this way, and you can just type in the chat box. I will say, sometimes people will text me while I am playing, but I actually have my phone off tonight, completely off, so that way it doesn't take up any bandwidth, to make sure that the video stays at least semi-decent. I know the picture quality is not as good, but the sound should be pretty good, so yay! Okay. So I'm gonna sing a song from my older album again, while we just kind of let people get in here, and then after that we'll get to playing through the whole EP. Tonight I'm drinking Ardbeg. A lot of reasons. Hi, Grammy and Uncle John. Yes. So glad you guys were able to tune in. All right, so this record was actually made possible in part from a very generous gift from my grandmother, so I'm glad that she's able to tune in and listen. So thank you, Grammy, for this huge gift. Grammy, I don't know if John told you earlier this week, but it's already in the top 100 albums in the country, so thank you for that. Ben, you made it. Woo! Okay, so as I was saying about the Ardbeg, I drank a lot of Ardbeg during the recording of this record, and it has been mysteriously out of stock at the local store since I got home from the studio. And every time I go and get my groceries, I go in the liquor store and I try to find the Ardbeg, and it's not there. And there was Ardbeg in the store last week, and I took it as a sign. And so just taking a sip now puts me back in the studio, so I'm in that right mindset. So, well, it actually, looks like a lot of people are here, so I might even just skip that older song and get right to the EP. Let's do that. And then after I sing through the EP, if you guys want to hear some more songs, we can. If not, we'll call it a night. But yeah, so let's do it. So we'll start with Poison. On the record, Poison is played on the piano, and I usually play it on the piano. My piano is actually right here. I can touch it, but I still haven't figured out how to get it dialed into my laptop properly without overloading the speakers. So that's a project now that the album is out in the world. In the meantime, I'll play Poison on the guitar. I did it for a live stream yesterday, which was the second time in 6 months I've played it on guitar. So we'll see if I remember what I did yesterday and can do that same thing today. If you're just joining me, I'm Sarah King. We are celebrating today's release of my brand new EP, The Hour. And we are now going to play it live, solo acoustic, starting with the first song, Poison. What do you say to a man who won't listen?
crazy, out of my mind. You ain't seen nothing yet. Making excuses for your behavior in the only way you can. All these reasons, they don't make you decent men. Gave you a taste of your own medicine, and you say I poisoned you. I know you won't change 'cause you can't understand. So what else can I do? Stand straight before you. I won't walk away this time. I'm not bad and I'm not broken by your crimes. You got a passionate case, but I don't care what you say. You're not the only one acting like this every day. Gave you a taste of your own medicine, and you say I poisoned you. No, you won't change 'cause you can't understand. So what else can I do? Oh Lord, I gave you a taste of your own medicine, and you say I poisoned you. I know you won't change 'cause you can't understand. So what else can I do? The story is nothing new. Every word I say is true to a man who won't listen. A man who won't listen.
Thank you, Michael. When I first heard this song on the download, I loved it so much I had to listen to it 3 times in a row. Yeah, this song, Poison, is pretty powerful. I wrote it, for those of you who have been following me for a little bit over the summer, I did porch concerts, which I am planning to bring back this summer. I'll be streaming live from the porch as soon as it's warm enough to be out there. And there was one day this summer, or in the spring actually, when I got word that I had been booked at the Philadelphia Folk Festival, and I was really excited about that. So I came in to practice and get ready for my set one day, and that song Poison just came tumbling out of me. It was such a powerful song, and the performance was a week later, and I played it live for the Philadelphia Folk Festival, and the director of the festival sent me a message during the festival and said, I am in tears with this song, and that told me that I'm getting goosebumps telling you this story right now. That told me that I had something special there with that song that just sort of fell out, and so I was honored to be able to bring it to life this fall and put it on the record, and I can't think of any better song to be the introduction for the rest of the record. So that's Poison. I would say now for something completely different, but there is a bit of a common thread that runs through the album. As one article astutely noticed earlier this week, I think, I'm not entirely sure, it might not have been this week, but there's a common thread of of a woman who's done wrong and the different approaches that are taken to respond to the situation. So the next song is called Nightstand, and this is actually the first single that was released for this record. This is the first song that I recorded with Simon and David, and this is the song that I sent them a video of me playing, and this is what made them say, like, yeah, we want to work with her. If you've been with me for a while, you heard the very, very original unpolished version, which is a little bit different, but I really like what we've done with it. To be honest, you're getting a lot of backstory and a lot of information on the album tonight because I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited to talk about it. My favorite part of this song on the album is the tambourine, and that's Simon. And I was informed today that Simon played a lot more on my album than he normally does, so that was pretty exciting to hear. But yeah, so if you have a copy of the album, listen for the tambourine on this song. I find it to just be very driving and very eerie, and it's my favorite part of the song. But if you've heard it, let me know what your favorite part of Nightstand is on the record. And now I'm going to play the solo acoustic version. I will give you all the backstory, Kyle. We'll be here until 2 a.m.
Had this fear of falling down the stairs since my father caught me in midair when I was a baby. I was a baby, yeah. When the devil's with me, I must say he almost always gets his way. Since I was a baby, I was a baby, yeah. I was born with a cord wrapped around my neck. It's not something I could ever forget. The world's been trying to take me out since the day I first arrived. There's a darkness reaching for my hand. I keep a gun in my nightstand, oh, waiting for music to bury a body by. Just like clockwork, he appears, a lonesome soul with the ringing ears. But I'm not his baby, I'm not his baby, no. But the tail of Venus sways his mind. He falls into my trap right on time. Cause he's not a baby, he's not a baby, no. He was born with the shadows on his mind, searching for something he could never define. The world's been trying to drag him down since the day he first arrived. There's a darkness reaching for my hand. I take the gun from my nightstand, oh, dancing to music to bury a body by.
Michael, yes, I definitely agree that having LPs, you have a lot more info to put room to put the info on. And that was something like when I was younger, I used to love like opening up a CD and like reading the liner notes and reading all the lyrics and all the notes and thank yous and stories and stuff. However, I never knew where to put the stuff like after I opened it, because I had a shelf for like 12 CDs, and then I had like these sleeves, where I would keep my CDs and stuff. And I've actually kind of enjoyed sharing these stories personally, like live, instead of just like printing them on a page and being like, oh, someone will read it. But there's something about like telling the story while I'm playing a song and getting that real-time feedback of like, oh, that's where that came from, or that's what happened there, or that's how that magic happened, stuff like that. So that's something that's been exciting for me. I totally thought of a story I wanted to tell you while I was in the middle of singing that song. Totally forgot it. So if any of you remember what I wanted to tell you in the middle of that song, I remember now. The intro to that. Now, I recently got Netflix. You should be very proud of me. I have moved up from my technologically deficient ways of like not having television and Netflix and all that stuff, and I now have Netflix. And so I watched this show recently called Godless, and I think it's like my favorite thing I've ever seen. It's about a town where all of the men in the town, they were miners, and they like died in a terrible mining accident. So it's this Wild West town of just run by women, and it's so cool. But the intro is very similar to this. So every time I play this song now, I'm like waiting for the rest of the intro music to show up and like the horses to come galloping through and stuff like that. So, but speaking of galloping, if you've been hanging out with me for a little while, you know the drill. Usually when we do these release shows, at the end of the show, I put a little link in the chat to go watch a new music video. Usually because I have a single coming out. How many people think I have a new video to share with you tonight? While you think about that, I'm going to play the next song, and then I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm just going to play. I'm debating whether or not I want to tell you anything, but I'll just play the song and we'll talk about it after. Here we go.
See the bad seeds rolling across the floor. Hear wolves howl outside the door. You're tired on magic, don't welcome me anymore. You say you called the devil up yesterday. Won't you tell me what the old man had to say? Can't think of a lie, you better get on your knees and pray. When I die, I know just what awaits me. I'm free from a world that betrayed me. All the ground is gonna hold me. That's what my mama told me. You drink like me, you'll find an early grave. A soul like mine's got nothing to save. If you find the right master, you'll never be a slave. When I die, I know just what awaits me. I'm free from a world that betrayed me. Oh, the ground is gonna hold me. That's what my mama told me. When I die, I know just what awaits. betrayed me. The colder ground is gonna hold me. That's what my mama told me.
Michael says, I do. Yes, I do have a new music video for you today. I do not have videos for both of the unreleased songs. The other one is coming shortly, but I do have a new video for that song, Cold Hard Ground. That song has been entirely under wraps because I wrote it in the studio and we recorded it in the studio when the day that I wrote it, which I normally don't operate that way. I tend to write songs and then let them sit with me for a while and let them kind of take on a life of their own and grow into themselves a little bit and make sure that they're settled and feeling good. But yeah, I went to the studio on a Monday, went home to the hotel that night, and the next morning this melody was kind of rolling around in my head, and I played around with it a little bit before I went into the studio. And when I was there, I was kind of noodling on the guitar, and they were like, what's that? Like, can we record that next? I was like, no, I just wrote the verse this morning. And they were like, well, that's cool. So when we finish up today, you're going to go home and finish the song, and we're going to put it on the record. And we did exactly that. So it was Cold Hard Ground. Had never been performed live until a couple weeks ago when I played it for Folk Alliance. So that was fun. Even though I wrote it and I played the acoustic guitar and stuff on the record, I also did a lot of other neat stuff. You'll hear there's some cool space sounding saw sounds that are really neat. But I also do this crazy vocal choir in the bridge, which was a lot of fun. And so figuring out which parts I wanted to sing on my own and all that was kind of cool. So, all right, so there are 5 songs on the hour. Once again, if you are just joining me, we are tonight celebrating the hour, my EP release. I'm Sarah King, obviously, as you saw on that cover. There are 5 songs on the album. I'll show you the back. Ooh. Isn't that neat? That photography was done by my friend Ariel, who I think right now is in Denver, Colorado. And I hope she turns on the radio because I'm actually getting a lot of airplay out there. So I should probably tell her which station to listen to. So anybody from KJAC, if you're listening, thank you for the airplay. So next up we have Not Worth the Whiskey, which Michael had requested that I play. So I'm excited for that. Again, if anybody has any questions, comments, feedback, stories, whatever, about the record, if you've listened to it or if you want some more backstory, let me know. I've got the link to get your copy up in the top of the chat. I'm currently running a vinyl pre-sale. We are almost halfway to the amount of orders that I need to get the vinyl. So I'm really, really excited about that. So thank you everyone who has contributed. How cold is the water? Great question. Do I look uncomfortable? We did that shoot in September and there had actually been a frost 3 weeks prior to that shoot. It was very, very cold. I was very uncomfortable. The photographer and I had this shoot planned for a while, and then things just kept getting moved around, with COVID and schedules and stuff. And then finally we were like, okay, we're just going to do it on this date. And yeah, it was not like the relaxing afternoon, taking some pictures in between, sipping wine on the beach. Nope, it was like the sun's going down, jump in the water. Okay, we got the shot, jump out. It was, really not very comfortable, but the photos came out amazing. She did a fantastic job, and so I'm hoping that this summer when Ariel is back in Burlington that we can take some more when it's warmer and it's a little easier to spend some time out in the water. I will say I thought it was super original of me to be out in the water, and then I realized that every other country musician has been doing the whole jump in a lake with your clothes on thing lately. So guess I missed the boat on that one. Haha, nice pun, because I'm in the water with my clothes on. But you're not here for the comedy show, are you? Maybe I am. Okay. Not Worth the Whiskey. Now for something completely different. Okay. So, pop quiz. How many instruments did I play on Not Worth the Whiskey? Type that into the chat while I play.
tried to save you, all that I gave you. I tried to save you from yourself when you had no one else. You're deep in the water, misdeeds are the fodder on which your guilty conscience feeds. 'Cause you can't get what you need, and now you're greeted by day and new come staring down everything we both know you done. And I can only be good for so long. You done me so wrong. You're not worth the whiskey. I tried to hold you back when I told you I won't find myself to blame. If you set yourself aflame, you walked into the fire. I found you a liar. Your blood won't be on my hands, 'cause you're not a gentleman. And now you're greeted by day and new come staring down everything we both know you done. And I can only be good for so long. You done me so wrong. You're not worth the whiskey. You're not worth the whiskey. Not worth the whiskey. Not worth the whiskey. Not worth the whiskey. Four instruments. Technically, did I play four on that? I guess technically we could say that I did, because, and this is a great song. Yes, it is my favorite song on the record. And when I was speaking with David, the producer, today, and I asked him his favorite, he said this one as well, just because of what we did with it and how cool it came out with just the three of us in a room. So, yeah, so on that record, I am playing guitar. And I'm also playing bass, and I'm playing two different bass lines. And if you listen carefully, you'll see that they're, listen casually, you'll notice there's just guitar in the verse. So the bass only comes in on the chorus, but there are actually two bass tracks. There's a clean bass track, and there's a super fuzzy bass track, which is like the coolest. So I guess that would technically be three instruments, because I had to do three takes for all of that. I am whistling, and I am singing. So if you count a whistle as an instrument, that makes four. So Kyle, you win. That was a super, super fun song to record. And it was funny because I had actually not expected to play lead guitar on that recording. So I had actually not brought my electric guitar. So the guitar that I'm playing is just the one that was in the studio. A couple weeks ago when I played for Folk Alliance, one of my students watched my show and later asked me if this was a Gibson J45. So not that anybody out there is a guitar nerd, but a J45, J in Gibson stands for jumbo, big guitar. This is actually an LG, which stands for Little Gibson. So if we've never met in person, that now gives you an idea of how little I am.
how small I am. So the reason that's important is because most of my guitars my hair is in my twinkle lights. Most of my guitars are either small-bodied or have been carefully like set up by me for my specs and to make sure that they are comfortable for me to play. And so I was playing not a Gibson. So Gibson Les Pauls have a smaller scale on the fretboard. So everything here is a specific length. And this neck and my other acoustic and my electric Les Paul all have the same neck, which is great. But most other acoustics or electrics have a different scale length. And so I'm playing this guitar that's a standard size and it's a bigger body and everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like I wish I had my own guitar. However, the tone of the guitar that we ended up recording for that song, oh, chef's kiss, so good. Yeah, so it ended up, it was like a happy accident. I was like, oh, okay, well, that was, took me a little getting used to in the studio, but it totally worked out. So pro tip, leave your instruments at home next time you go to the studio and you'll never know what might happen. All right, so if you have a copy of The Hour, you know what comes after Not Worth the Whiskey. If you don't know, I would say guess, but I'll just tell you because I'm not going to make you wait in suspense. So this also came up in today's discussion. We talked about what was the weirdest thing that happened while we recorded the record. And without hesitation, David looked at me and said, when you walked in the door on the last day and said you wanted to play Black Sabbath's War Pigs. I love telling that story because I love just remembering the look on David and Sai's faces when I was like, yeah, I think this is the cover we should put on. Because when I had been there over the summer, we had listened to this like awesome Jimmy Rogers song, which I'm sure we'll put on the next record. And that record was like... And like that was cool, it was like this super old school folk country song, and like it was really, really a neat song. But I just didn't feel like that was the song that needed to be on this record. War Pigs really needed to be on this record for a variety of reasons, and I'm not going to get into all of them here, but unless anybody asks. But on my website, I talk a little bit about it, and there's a lot of backstory that went into that choice. But yeah, their eyes were about as big as dinner plates when I said that no, forget Jimmy Rogers, we're going to go with Black Sabbath for the cover. And then I played it for them and said, this is what my arrangement sounds like, and they were like, okay. And then they were still like, but we don't have time to like do a full arrangement. We don't have time to, to add anything to it because, we'd planned for this many songs. So they said, cool. If we get to the end of the day and we have 20 minutes left, you can hop in there and play it live. And if you don't do it well, we're going to take it off the record and we're not going to have it on there. Well, if you have the record, War Pigs Live is on the bottom. So, in their words, nailed it. Now that I've said that, I probably won't nail it right now. But hey, it's there for posterity's sake. So, and did that cover so well? Thank you, Kyle. Beautiful version. Thank you, Michael. Vinny, you made it. Woo! Happy release day. So actually, fun fact, I was supposed to be at Vinny's studio right now, but I went to visit said Grammy that I mentioned earlier because she just moved to Florida last weekend, and because she's was in Massachusetts and that was across state lines, I'm currently at home quarantining. So instead of bringing my Massachusetts germs to Vinny, coming to you from the desert in my backyard. So, Vinny, thanks for hanging out. All right, so here we go with War Pigs, which I have not played live since, I think I played it for a private party in November, and I don't think I've played it since. That's cool. I've listened to it like every day since then, right? So I probably know how it goes. We'll find out.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. You might minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning, death and hatred to mankind, poison in their brainwashing minds. Oh Lord, yeah. Politicians hide themselves away. They only started the war. Why should they go out to fight? They leave their role to the poor. Lord, yeah. Time will tell on their power minds, making war just for fun, treating people just like pawns in chess. Wait till judgment day comes. Oh Lord, yeah. Darkness world stops turning, ashes where the body's burning. No more pigs have the power, and the God has struck the hour. Day of judgment, God is calling. On their knees, the war pigs crawling, making mercies for their sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings.
Ooh. That was kind of exciting. That actually kind of felt like when I played it in the studio. It's a heavy song, but I'm glad, I'm honored that I was able to play it and that we got it on the record. Your voice is so perfect the way you're playing the song. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. It's a heavy song, but it's an important song, so I'm honored to be able to share it with you. So that's that. That is the entire EP live. Again, I've got the link, and I'll pop the link there in the chat one more time. So now I will leave it up to you. You guys want to hear a few more, or do you want to check out the new video? While you think about that, what will I do? I will just, I'll once again say I'm Sarah King. If you are just joining me, check out my website, sarahkingsings.com. Today we are celebrating The Hour, my brand new EP. It is already in the top 100 Americana albums in the country, and that's really exciting to me. Right before I started, I got a picture that the Americana Music Association had my album and Loretta Lynn's album in a photo together of music you should listen to this week. And that was like the most exciting thing that could possibly happen on release day. So really, really exciting for me. Just to be, even for my album, to be in a picture with Loretta Lynn on release day is just bonkers. So I'm coming to you from Vermont, my little desert here that I have in my studio. This has been such an amazing journey over the last year. I honestly, at this time last year, would not have expected or imagined any of what happened this year to have come to fruition. I don't know what I expected. Last year, quarantine, like lockdown, had just started, and all my tours, all my shows are canceled. I actually had my first Northeastern New England tour booked, and that was all done, canceled, gone away. But instead, now I have this amazing EP. So, all right. So Kyle says, either one, as long as I still hear your voice. All right. So I think I'm going to get to the video, because I'm really excited about the video and I'm excited to make it public. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the link and I'm going to pop it in the chat. And I'll say thank you for joining me. I hope that you had as much fun as I did tonight and have had as much fun following along this journey with me. Michael, have fun to have been on this journey with you. How did you know? Thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting my career, my music. I love playing music. I love bringing these songs to life in the studio, live on the screen. I cannot wait to play live for you, but until that time, and it may not be this year, I honestly am not expecting to tour a lot this year. I understand the vaccinations are rolling out, but I'm still not sure how I feel about encouraging a lot of people to gather in really large groups very close together, because I am the type of person that, like, when I get off stage, I want to hug everybody and like talk about our experiences and how we feel and stuff, and I want to make sure that we are all totally comfortable with that before I start encouraging that sort of behavior. So if I don't get to your area this year, 2022, I am like so ready to come and visit. So let's all pop over to that new video. I'm going to make it public here in a second. I'll make it public right now. And let's see, make public. Okay, it is now public. So we can all go watch the official video for Cold Hard Ground, which is brand new. And if you haven't got your copy of The Hour, go ahead and grab it now. I am crowdfunding until the end of the month of March to help me back some of the costs that went into making it, and also to get some vinyl. And spread the word, tell your friends. I'll be playing live over the next 10 days to get people pumped about it. So yeah, thank you. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, it is very different, refreshing, and hopefully this is just the beginning. So thank you. Love y'all. And I'll see you over in the comments section for Cold Hard Ground. Once again, here's the video link. I'll see you there in a minute. Bye.